Hi guys, Mitch King with Trade Stocks America with the Tuesday morning, October 5th, 2010 daily stock report. Here's the Dow 30, down 0.75% today, or 78 points. We're starting that pullback that we've been talking about the last 3 or 4 days. The short-term indicators gave us plenty of warning, and we're probably wondering like you why we didn't sell everything, but a lot of the long position charts still look pretty good, and now some of them are starting to break down. Nasdaq Composite dropped 1.1% more than the other indexes, but it has been more aggressively moving up. I think these indexes are going to look like they're turning over on more of a gentle basis, something like that. My best guess is that we probably won't end up down this area in early July and late August. I still think the November 2nd election is going to have a tendency to pull stocks upward. So we should still get a little bit of a push and pull between the natural correction that we should have on a technical basis as well as some sort of forces to move up. We do have that jobless unemployment rate on Friday, forecasted at 9.7%, but the numbers that come with that report are forecasted to be worse than expected by some pretty smart analysts that we've been following on the economy, some pretty smart economists. Here's the S&P 500 down 0.8%, and the Russell 2000 was down 1.4% today. Let's go through a handful of stocks. Here's that bull short MOTR, not working the last couple days. That rebound is challenging that high, and recently we've been seeing those bust right through that level. So if you take that previous high we saw last week of 1342, what we've been seeing is a correction initially and then a higher high with most of these bull shorts. So the lesson has been to take the profits on that first correction, even though that might be 8 to 10%. A lot of these bull shorts with these IPOs recently, if we look back in here, was in June, have not done well for us. We did have only one exception, which was FN, Fabrinet, last month or two. And that was kind of an exception. Here's that Fabrinet we were working with in mid-August right in here, and it did correct really nicely from that $18 level to about $11. But all these other ones that have a recent IPO have been very strong and have not corrected well. Okay, let's go down a few stocks on the stock list. AZO up 0.8% today, still moving up. I think CMG is still within that uptrend. No reason to be selling that yet. MGA here is a sell tomorrow. VIT looks pretty good still. I don't see any reason to sell that one off. Here's HMIN down 1.7%. Consider selling that Tuesday. This CRM is just not acting well, considering it's been down like 4 out of the last 5 days, basically. If you haven't bought this long, it's still within the uptrend. If you kind of draw a channel, a real simple one, you can see it really hasn't broken below that very much. And if it does what the pattern has been and starts moving up the next couple of days, it could get in that same, it could just still be within that uptrend we've been having so often. If you see a sharp breakdown, that's your cue signal to have it stopped out. GMCR has been the biggest disappointment. Clearly a mistake to not let this stop out. Here we are at 28.41 today. And this was a buy of 31.50, so we're already down over that 7%, down probably 10 to 11% on this stock. But the logic of this, of allowing it to drop so much against that cost basis, is that it's been a really strong stock for quite some time. If you go back in history, these strong stocks, they usually bounce up really strong on a drop like this. This one is a kind of unusual news with this SEC inquiry about why they're posting a 4.4 million loss greater than they expected and didn't show it in the last report. It was kind of something they found later. I do find it interesting the SEC is working extra hard to give the security to the public that they're doing their job when they can't even follow Madoff for 10 years when people tell them that he's a crook. What's interesting is that Green Mountain did give full disclosure that they caught the error as 4.4 million and it caused a 3-cent charge against their earnings. So it's just baffling how they're jumping on this one. And Here's that mall short acting really well. Percentage-wise, a big gain on the short from upper sixes to 7 to here we are under $6. So I'd consider covering this the next day or two. If the market keeps pulling back, that's a good sign to hang on to these. But I'd say tomorrow would be a good time to start covering. Here's Crick down 1.5%. I don't see this breaking down too much. It has a really good chance of bouncing back up, so it's your call, but I'd probably cover it and close it and move on. So you guys take care. You put the odds in your favor. Don't get leveraged, especially in those bull shorts. And we're having a great time in the trading room. Still got a couple little bugs to work out. We're still in a beta test. We should be wrapping that up pretty soon, and we'll keep you posted when that opens up to everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow.